What's going on, swim fans? It is the morning of the swim around Mackinac Island, 8.2 miles of fun. We're walking to the starting line. Really excited about this. Gonna put the wetsuit on. Let's go. I was about to do something that had never been done before. This is the story, how I became one of the first people to swim 8.2 miles around the iconic Mackinac Island. I've swum from Asia to Europe in the Bosphorus cross-continental swim, and I've competed at the FINA Masters World Championships in Hungary. But swimming around Mackinac Island is the ultimate bucket list item for thousands of Michigan natives, myself included. Resting in the middle of the Straits of Mackinac, between Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas, Mackinac Island is often referred to as the crossroads of the Great Lakes. The island was formed over 10,000 years ago when the last ice age created what we now call the Great Lakes. The 5 Great Lakes make up the largest freshwater system in the world. These massive bodies of water hold 20% of the entire world's freshwater supply, and they span thousands of miles of coastline between the United States and Canada. Mackinac Island is Michigan's crown jewel. The island is a truly unique place with a rich cultural and economic history, along with incredible natural beauty. There are no cars allowed on the island, just horses and bikes. More than 1 million tourists visit the island every year. It seems no matter how many times you visit Mackinac Island, there's always something new to learn, a new legend to hear, or some new history to experience. I had the chance to do something that many people dream of, and perhaps something that most people would never even think is possible. I signed up to swim around the magnificent Mackinac Island. But before we conquer the Straits of Mackinac, let's back up a little bit. This swim didn't happen overnight. I had the chance to catch up with Eric, one of the founders of this epic event. He explained that at its core, the swim around Mackinac Island is about having fun and experiencing the beauty of the island.
We'll make it a fun swim, non-timed event, and let's raise money for a local charity, Mackinac Women's Club. They support about 6 different charities. We decided we needed to share the love of Mackinac Island and the beauty of the water with other swimmers.
Taking on any challenge like this requires intense preparation and commitment. You have to be a bit crazy to sign up for a swim this long. 8.2 miles is roughly 13,000 meters. That's no joke. I followed a training plan in the MySwimPro app and ramped up my training both in the pool and in open water over the course of 12 weeks. My longest pool workout was over 10,000 meters in a single session. I focus on building my endurance, technique, and with just swimming a lot of yards. Some days, it was tough to swim that much, but I knew I was preparing for something amazing. And soon enough, it came time to head to the island for the swim. I knew I had put in the training, but nothing would compare to this. I arrived in Mackinac City a few days before the event to prepare.
What's going on, swim fans? We're here in Mackinac City. Right there, you can actually see Mackinac Island. We're about to swim around that in about 36 hours. Did a little bit of a warm up. It's 8 miles around. It's gonna be awesome.
My hotel was a 20-minute ferry ride away from the island, and to be honest, looking at the island from the shoreline was pretty intimidating. It's a giant landmass just sitting there in the middle of the strait next to the mighty Mackinac Bridge that connects the upper and lower peninsulas of Michigan. The Mackinac Bridge is the 5th longest suspension bridge in the world, at over 8 kilometers long. Under the center of the bridge, the water gets to depths of over 90 meters, and the water churns like a washing machine where Lake Michigan and Lake Huron collide. Luckily for me, the swim around the island would be in slightly calmer water near the shoreline. Regardless, these waters can be ferocious and unforgiving to even the most advanced swimmers, so safety was definitely a priority. The day before the event, there was an official safety meeting and packet pickup. This was an opportunity to check in, pick up my event bib, and go over any last-minute swimming logistics. Packet pickup was buzzing with the mix of enthusiasm and anxiety. I spoke with a few of the participants to see how they were feeling with less than 24 hours to go.
We're swimming about 8 miles. Have you guys ever swum 8 miles in any capacity?
No.
No.
So I guess what do you feel like you've trained enough? Like how much swimming do you guys do coming into this?
We swim. We're part of a group that swims on an inline lake, and every weekend we swim between 4 and 5 miles. So and then some distance during the week. I think we're okay.
We were all required to wear a wetsuit and swim with a safety buoy, and I was happy to have the reassurance and buoyancy of a wetsuit to tackle a lengthy swim like this one.
The wetsuit is the part that I'm most nervous about for this distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like yourself.
I think the wetsuit adds obviously buoyancy,
Sure.
and you can then focus on other things, not having to worry about buoyancy. So I personally, I'm looking forward to it.
At this time of the year, the water is a comfortable 22 degrees Celsius or about 72 degrees Fahrenheit. The night before, excitement set in. I couldn't wait to join over 200 other swimmers to be among the first athletes to swim around Mackinac Island at this inaugural event. Before heading to bed, I prepped all of my gear, including my wetsuit, nutrition, and game plan for the following morning. We woke up early and headed to the ferry station. We departed at 6:30 a.m. sharp for Mackinac Island. We arrived by 7 a.m. and walked about half a mile to the start line in front of the world-famous Grand Hotel. By 7:30 a.m., swimmers entered the water in a rolling start fashion. Some swimmers, including myself, went after the full 8.2 miles, starting south and then circling a buoy near Biddle Point in the west end of the harbor. All the other swimmers started heading north, going clockwise around the island for the 7-mile route. I waved my final goodbyes, took in the view, and I was off on my epic solo voyage around Mackinac Island. The water was clear, the sun was shining, and it was a beautiful day to make history. Swimming around the island, we stayed between the kayakers and buoys at all times. I completed 90% of this swim in water that was shallow enough to stand in. The water drowned out all the noise above the surface, and I was alone with my thoughts and my breath, taking it one stroke at a time. I stuck with my game plan and coasted the first few miles at a relaxing pace that I knew I could hold. There were buoys set up every 2 miles and a rest area with hydration and nutrition replenishment at the halfway point at the top of the island. I felt smooth, and even when I hit turbulence, I kept my cool and just swam with the flow. At times, the water was so clear you could see 10 meters deep, and it was amazing to see small fish swimming over the rocks near the bottom. I felt like I was one with the water. Every 500 to 1,000 meters, I would sip on a little bit of my sports drink that I had pulling behind me. I stopped at the aid station halfway home for some energy gels and Gatorade. At one point, I remember the current and the waves were so strong that they started to push me backwards. I tried to power through, but for a short time, I wasn't even going anywhere. I stayed calm, kept my stroke long, and I knew I would get through it. After about 10 kilometers, my arms really started to feel fatigued. But I focused on my technique and maximizing my distance per stroke. I knew I could keep going, and the thought of crossing the finish line kept me motivated in the final few kilometers. One final buoy near the east breakwall of the harbor marked the last turn for home at the finish. As I approached the end, I could hear and even smell the finish line. I knew there was a buffet at the finish, and believe me, I was hungry, tired, sunburned, and ready to be done. After 4 hours and 5,434 strokes, I finally reached the finish line. Exiting the water was a challenge because of the unforgiving rocks along the shoreline. But once I was out, I felt great. My total moving time was about 3.5 hours, and in total, I burned over 3,000 calories.
Woo! Just completed the swim around Mackinac Island. 8 miles of fun swimming. Nice leisurely swim. So happy to get the wetsuit taken off. Get my shoulders a breather here. Even picked up a nice medal. Look at this cute little turtle. Let's go hear what some of the participants had to say about this.
I had the chance to connect with some incredible swimmers from all over the United States. One swimmer had just finished cancer treatment, and she crushed the entire swim. Another athlete swam the full distance as an amputee. All in all, everyone had an incredible day, and was thrilled to be a part of this history-making event.
It was a great event. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a beautiful day. The conditions were good. It's cold, 71, 72 degrees, but overall it was really nice. We had a little north wind pushing us, so the second half of the course was light than the first, so that was nice.
Beautiful day for a swim. Yeah, couldn't have asked for better weather.
Someone's thinking about doing this event next year. Did they do it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, obviously it takes some training. You got to do a little bit of work in the pool or in the lakes. But overall, it's a great event.
So I'm hoping to come back next year and hopefully swim the straights. And yeah, beautiful.
I want to thank the race organizers and give a huge shout out to everyone who participated in this inaugural swim around Mackinac Island. I can't wait for the next challenge. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe for more swimming adventures and technique tips to take your own swimming to the next level. See you guys in the next video, and happy swimming.